Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button, get that bell notification on, and hit the like button. The like buttons help out the channel a lot. It's got something a little bit different for you today, and it's not on purpose. My voice didn't record while I was recording this episode, so what we're doing is I'm going to talk over it, and we're going to watch a bit of a speed build. So if you saw the video 20 minutes long, that's like half of what I normally do pretty much. I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to do my best to kind of talk over what we were doing. And as you see, I'm pointing out this beautiful airport that we made a few episodes ago. But as you saw in the title of this video and the thumbnail, we are going to build a football stadium for the university. The university is something I've been kind of struggling with. I'm not sure quite why it's not leveling up, but I figured maybe if we get the football stadium in, it'll boost the popularity of the school so much that people will want to come study at New Lancaster University. I'm definitely going to try to get some more housing in around the area, especially high density housing, and make sure that the high schools are good and well in our area, because obviously the way the game works is a person needs to get to a certain education level, right? And high schools help you achieve the education level needed in order to attend university. And I might also need to start looking at maybe putting down our, downgrading our trade school. Anyway, so what I'm pointing out here is that I think we're going to need to redo this interchange to make it a four-way interchange. Mainly because we don't really have a direct access into Fairview, which is this neighborhood we're dealing with. So I think what I might do is probably off camera make that a four-way interchange. The reason why I'm doing that off camera is, well, you know what, maybe we might do something like this, like a little speed build section of the video, because I use a lot of Move It. I'm not very good at making interchanges, so I tend to just mess up a lot. Yeah, so as you see right here, I'm just trying to get this football stadium in the right spot. And this is a little tricky to do because I wanted to get it as tight to the highway as possible. Lots of North American cities have their stadiums pretty close to the highways, and you know, I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe someone better at geography than me or city planning than me can tell me why, but I assume that it's because stadiums make lots of noise, highways make lots of noise. Pretty much match made in heaven. Highways get built and they clear off land, so there's space there available, right? And you know, also it's pretty easy to get to and from, in and out of the city if you're going to and from the stadium. So the idea here is that I wanted to squeeze it in as much as possible to that little nook that we made with that Y interchange. And we're going to also need to make lots of parking for the stadium, because the parking, you know, you're going to drive to the game. It's a football stadium. Let's be real. There's going to be some tailgating, right? Can't say I've ever been to a tailgate party. It'd be pretty awesome. I am a Bills fan, and those Bills Mafia's videos look pretty awesome. Now, I'm not the biggest football fan in the world. Hockey and baseball are my sports. As you can probably tell if you've watched a bunch of these videos, because I've added lots of hockey rinks and lots of baseball diamonds. Not so much as I should with the other sports, because the other sports are just as fun. I love playing them. Yeah, I'm a Bills fan when it comes to football and the NFL. They're probably like my 1.5 team. My favorite team has been the Colts since I was a kid. And I'll tell you why. Peyton Manning. That says it all. He was unreal. And also they're blue and white, and my favorite hockey team is the Toronto Maple Leafs. So for some reason, when I was a kid, I was like, blue and white NFL team. They got the best player in the world, Peyton Manning. Arguably, hey, you know, he's a Hall of Famer, that's for sure. So I think that's kind of why I was a Peyton Manning fan growing up. But yeah, Bills and Colts, they're my teams. I grew up in the Toronto area, and Buffalo's pretty close. So a lot of people in Toronto are Bills fans. But when it comes to football in Canada, some of you may not be aware, but we have our own football league called the CFL, and they have much different rules than the NFL. So like if you watch the Super Bowl but you're not really like a football fan, you may not know that. Canadian football has 3 downs. They play on a larger field, both in length and width, I believe. And their field goal post is at the front of the touchdown zone, not at the back. So you can watch some pretty funny highlights of people running into it, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I've been to a few CFL games. They're a lot of fun. They're much more fast-paced than NFL games because there's lots of switchovers, and special teams is extremely important. So if you're an NFL fan, I really encourage you to watch the CFL because it's a really cool take on a sport that you may already love. If you're not a football fan, totally get it. I watch one NFL game a year, and it's Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. But I do cheer for everyone in the highlights, obviously. I just don't have the time on Sundays to sit down and watch a football game, unfortunately. But it's a great sport. Yeah, you're going to see me mess up a lot. So I'm kind of glad that this happened in a way because I could not for the life of me get my mouse working. I've been dealing with lots of mouse issues lately, and it's been wreaking havoc on my gameplay. I'll just like right click and my mouse will just veer off to the side and you're going to see me misclick a lot. So in a way, it's pretty good that this happened, to be honest. Now, I never told you who my favorite CFL team is. So I told you I'm from Toronto. So you'd think, he's an Argos fan. I'm a Hamilton Ticats fan. Why? No idea, but I think it's because my dad is a really big Argos fan, and I thought it would make him mad or something growing up. So I'm a Ticats fan. It's you know, with the CFL, it's hit or miss, really. One year you can be great, the next year you can be awful. So I can't even tell you who their quarterback is. I can't tell you who the quarterback is of pretty much any team. I know that the best quarterback in the league is Bo Levi Mitchell, who is a Calgary Stampeder. That's the extent of my CFL knowledge. And unfortunately, they didn't play this year because of COVID. Yeah, what the heck is going on here? It was a rough go. But it was funny how these cars kept on jumping in every time I was misclicking. But I think this turned out really, really good. The way the stadium fit in that area is just perfect. And plus those parking lots were fantastic, especially with this extra parking lot that we have over here. If you're thinking about how many people are going to be going to the stadium, it's a lot, right? So I figured, like, this is like the cheap parking. It's probably where the tailgates happen, back over here. And then that is more of like the secure parking, I guess. Costs a bit more probably. But yeah, I really needed this large parking lot on the back end of it, to be honest. So I'm really glad that I ended up doing it, because if you look at how many people are in that stadium, it's a lot. And you know, it's probably better if people were to take public transport to games, and you know, then you can drink and stuff and you don't have to worry about having to drive home, right? But let's be real, that's not going to happen. People are going to drive to the games, carpool and stuff, so you're going to need parking lots, right? So that was my idea. I wanted to do also a bit of a different take on this, and I forgot I was going to add a bit of a node right on the Phillips part of the Phillips Street, to make like a crossing over there. But I realized I hadn't put in enough handicap parking for what we're going to need, so I figured this would be a great spot for it. But unfortunately, it didn't really work out the best, and it's a different take on a parking lot. It can be different. It's the future. This parking lot architect decided to do something a bit different. Who knows? But we're definitely going to need to look at fixing off that highway interchange when we kind of looking at making that 4-way interchange just to the north where we're looking at right now. But I also wanted to add a pathway in over here, because I figured people are probably going to park at that larger parking lot and realize their gates at the front, so they're going to need to get around. Plus, you can get some cool pictures of the stadium, because it's a pretty nice stadium. these assets that they made for the campus DLC are just beautiful. I really like the baseball stadium is phenomenal. It looks exactly like a minor league baseball stadium, which is a really cool part of the game with the campus DLC. Is you don't have to make the stadiums part of the campus. It can be its own thing, but it definitely needed a fence because, you know, it's a highway. So otherwise, you might get some accidents. That's not good, right? So we're just adding this fence, and you know the movement mod is really highlighted in this. I recently learned something new that I kind of use a bit with movement mod. I learned it from watching Imperial Jedi's videos, and if you hold left alt while you're doing move it keeps the curve of things a lot better. So shout out to Imperial Jedi. I've only recently started following him. He's a really good YouTuber. Canadian too, so you know he's automatically a fantastic YouTuber. Highly recommend following him. He's got a great narration style, and yeah, shout out to Imperial Jedi. Yeah, so I forgot to put a fence on that side, but you know it's also really important to detail as you go. I'm really bad at detailing while I go because my brain is going off into wanting to do other things that I just forget to, or sometimes I'm thinking I'm going to detail off camera because, you know, I'm not really sure what you guys want to see all the time. So I figured you want to see the most rapid growth of the city as possible. So that's why I focus on just kind of building as much as possible, right? So please let me know if you'd rather me not do that and you'd rather me slow down a bit in detail, because you know the city's been going on for quite some time, and I've been thinking that maybe switching it up soon is probably a good thing. So I'm actually working on creating a map for the next series, and as I've mentioned before, the next series is going to be set in the St. Lawrence River Valley area, or not necessarily the River Valley, but off of the St. Lawrence River, and we're going to do a Quebec themed city. It's definitely not going to be as big as this city. My idea for it is to try to keep it really thematic to what a Quebec city would be. So I'm going to make it like a downtown core with lots of small towns around the outside. And I just haven't managed to figure out how to build the right map for it yet. So I might end up using a pre-made map. Not sure. But I'm working on it. And when I do start the next series, I'll be really excited about it. But the city's not going to go away. The city will forever be the city we come to when we want to mess around with stuff or try out new things or some stuff like that. This will be the OG city of Cities by Steven, because it is. And yeah, I really like the city. I've learned a lot while doing it too. I've mentioned this before. I love this game, but I used to play it on console a lot, and I've only recently transitioned to the PC version, so I've learned a lot about all the mods in PC and everything like that in recent times. So this was kind of like a bit of a learning venture as well. So there's a lot of things in this city that maybe I should have done differently, and as I look back on older videos, I realized that. But you know, it's a bit of it's an experience, right? So we'll see what happens. Yeah, for some reason that water wasn't connected. Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, just filling this up with some leisure zoning, even though I actually didn't zone that leisure. I fixed it off camera. But yeah, interesting, eh? So anyways, let me know what you think about that idea. I'm also going to change up my schedule for the next city. I'm going to do 5 days a week, Mondays through Fridays, and then not post on the weekend. Just trying to maximize the YouTube algorithm a bit to grow the channel. So please hit the like button, subscribe, and all that jazz. Tell your friends about it too. I really enjoy making these videos, and you know, honestly, I'm not going to stop anytime soon. I'm not in it to become a massive YouTuber. I just want to create a bit of a community, and maybe we can build cities kind of together with everyone's ideas. So if you have any ideas for district names or anything that pops up, like a city park or something like that, you know, don't feel shy to throw that in the comment section. Just like, don't feel shy to tell me who your favorite NFL team is. I have no skin in the game. But go Colts and Bills. Even though I never watched any of their games. Anyway, so I was looking at the university before this happened, and I'm, just like I said earlier, a little surprised that things were leveling up, and it actually downgraded, which is a bit of a frustrating thing. So I wanted to build another high school out here to maybe help that out a bit. So we built one of these nice big suburban high schools. I love these high schools. I think they look the most realistic out of the high schools in like the vanilla mode, and they look fantastic when you add like some of the assets beside it, like the baseball stadiums and the soccer fields. So that's what we do in this episode. We're gonna in this little area get a nice little baseball stadium in, and a soccer field and some parking. But yeah, it's a little tricky to kind of manage all these things, and you know, to be honest, I think I have a mod conflict that's messing up with something, because like I watch other people's YouTube videos, and like they don't have any issues with getting people to get into their post-secondary schools, and for some reason it's been such a struggle since day one to get people in post-secondary on this map. So you know, the next series I'm gonna do way less mods. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple with the mods and assets. Just stuff like the baseball stadium, the soccer field. I don't know why there aren't in the game already. So I'm gonna keep those. Like those are really cool assets, and they're all over cities in North America too. Like just go over Google Maps. Every single city has like 3 baseball stadiums and soccer fields. So not really sure why that is the case, but you know, maybe there's another DLC coming. Who knows? But that's why mods are so great, right? So you know, just wanted to add in this high school, this area, to help it out, and go back to the bane of my existence, these little parking lot tools. They just look so good that you need to add them in. But my goodness, are these little things touchy? Or maybe my mouse is just broken. I don't know. I work a 9 to 5 from home, and I use the same mouse for that. So maybe over COVID, things have gotten... my mouse has gotten a bit breaky. Yeah, please leave any comments down below that you have. Don't feel shy. You know, message me on social media too. Instagram, Twitter, same name as the channel. I post every single time that the video goes live. So that's right now. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then once on the weekend. But we're also just going to add a few parks around here. Oh, sorry, I think I just did that one park. And then we're going to add some more parks in the next episode. But anyways, I hope you liked this video. Let me know down in the comment section below if you like this kind of style. If you want me to do this post-video narration, that's fine with me, if that's what you want to see. So just let me know. And yeah, I think this turned out fantastic. By the way, the stadium next episode is going to be yellow, not purple, because I do add it to the university, and the team name for the football stadium is the new Lancaster Lions. So it's yellow because lions are yellow. Anyways, hope you have a good one, and peace out.